Chair recognizes the gentleman from Graves 2 for an explanation of the bill and a motion thereon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to call for House Committee Sub 1.
Mr. Clerk, please report.
House Committee Substitute 1 to House Bill 9.
Gentleman from Graves.
Move for passage.
Question for the body is on passage or the adoption of House Committee Substitute 1. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carries. House Committee Substitute 1 is adopted. Gentleman from Graves.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 9 creates the grant program, which stands for Government Resources Accelerating Needed Transformation. The main objective of House Bill 9 is to seize on the extraordinary opportunity to leverage Kentucky's state tax dollars effectively towards significant public projects that will revitalize our rural communities. This bill creates a framework that allows local governments, nonprofits, or a coalition of those organizations to apply for the matching component of federal grants. At the federal level, over $3 trillion have been authorized towards programs aimed at economic and workforce development, infrastructure, substance use disorder programs, STEM education, housing, and more. Our presidential executive order and intricacy working group has identified a collection of counties in western and eastern Kentucky as top locations in the nation for priority federal investment. But we are hearing from our rural communities that getting access to these federal dollars, the funding, will be difficult or impossible without state collaboration and matching support. The Kentucky Department for Local Government and the Council for Ad Development Districts will work together in administrating the grant program. DLG will create a standardized grant application, develop a scoring system, award matching grants to grant recipients that are deemed eligible, while the Kentucky Council of Ad Districts will process grant applications, score each project based on its return on investment and relative positive impact on the community, and submit recommended projects to DLG in metrics indicate a high probability of project success. Upon DLG's award of matching grants, the applicant will proceed to the federal application process. The state will only release the matching grant upon receipt of the federal grant, meaning that our state dollars will always be leveraged against federal dollars. By design, the grant program permits these entities to pursue a broad and exclusive array of federal grants that provide a public purpose and are in the best interest of. But House Bill 9 stipulates that eligible projects must benefit the federally identified priority communities in eastern and western Kentucky. This legislation is a once-in-a-generation opportunity for Kentucky to maximize its resources and secure federal funding for significant public projects. Our neighboring states, West Virginia, Ohio, and Indiana, have recently passed similar legislation and invested up to $500 million to bolster their ability to compete for this same federal funding. In reviewing the success of Indiana, they have been able to leverage their $500 million investment into another almost $10 billion for federal private dollars. I can't stress enough how unique and important this opportunity is for Kentucky. These communities need significant help, and House Bill 9 enables us to maximize our resources in that effort. Given the success that we've seen in Indiana, as well as the legislation passed last year by Ohio and West Virginia, we need to take action to ensure that we get our fair share for our people. If there are no questions, I move for passage of House Bill 9 as amended by House Committee Sub 1.